Funny airport photos that are so outrageous that you won't believe they happened. Part 1. The world has become quite advanced, especially in terms of security. But sometimes, the airport security system can be even tighter than government institutions. From drug traffickers to petty thieves, airports are a buzz of activity for all. Naturally, airlines have to be stringent to ensure passenger safety. However, body searches aren't always comfortable, especially when you've been marked for cavity search on arrival. Fortunately, this airport has authorities who are thoughtful enough to assign a woman officer to body search female travelers. Coz God knows this would have been awkward otherwise. Come on Barbie, let's go party. Airport looks are a trend. Regardless of whether or not you're a celebrity, dressing up for travel isn't all bad. Look at this young lady who outshined the other passengers at the airport with her ensemble. Her body-hugging dress, heeled boots, luggage, and even the handbag indicate that she's off on a long journey. Whether she dressed up for a shoot or simply for the fun of turning heads at the airport, we still want to commend her commitment to getting glammed up for the airport. We hope she didn't trip and fall while running towards her boarding gate. Nap that requires a rescue mission. We know that in situations like delayed flights, overbooking, or layovers, one can't depend only on the phone to pass the time. One eventually does get bored and feel sleepy. But even though sleeping seems feasible in such situations, it can lead to several issues. This lady, for instance, has devised a great way to sleep safely so that no one can kidnap her. But while she might have taken her time to wriggle into this position, she definitely won't be able to wriggle out of it in a hurry if her flight is announced. Bye-bye booking amount. Duty calls. A big salute to all those who work in the armed forces because leaving your loved ones behind to fight for the country is not easy. Missing is a major part of the Army officers' families. And we guess Mrs. Neal here missed her man a little too much. By looking at the poster, the first question that springs into mind is how Mr. Neal must have reacted to it, even imagining him looking amused and letting out a laugh. Hopefully, he traveled comfortably, perks of being in the armed forces, to see this demanding poster by his beloved lady. When you do right by everyone and still get embarrassed. They could easily have won an award for the best-dressed gentleman at the airport had it not been for this perfectly timed picture. These suited men in hats were leaning against the railing while conversing with each other casually. But everyone else on the other side was surely laughing their heads off. The banner on the railing was to be blamed. It made the man in the middle look like he'd forgotten to wear his pants and was purposely flaunting a feathered scarf over a red bikini bottom. And wait, there's more. The gentleman in the far right corner appears to be getting ready to kick the guy in the middle. What friends are really for? This photograph was taken in 2018 at the Belfast International Airport. Well, it's not difficult to understand that the person wearing that skin-tight dress is struggling with a rather large sheet of paper. And guess what it is? His boarding pass. The pass doesn't have the incorrect name or anything. It's just that it's printed in such gigantic letters that it doesn't even fit on the barcode scanner. Yep, that's the work of a genius mind, and we bet it's none other than one of his friends. But the attire does leave us puzzled. Maybe it's just another prank. A flight full of falcons. Any passenger would freak out if they walked into a plane full of birds, but in UAE, taking your pet falcons aboard with you is quite normal. Qatar Airways, Emirates, and Etihad Airlines will even allow them into the first-class lounge, although your beloved pet will need a passport to be able to travel by air. The falcons seen in this picture belong to a Saudi prince who got tickets for all 80 of these birds to ensure that they were transported safely. To keep the birds calm, they were covered in hoods, blocking their view. It's scary selfie time. Pilots always look dressed up and smart with their crisp uniform, sunglasses, and shining shoes. We don't know about you, but for most ladies out there, a pilot in uniform can make their heart swoon with a single look. And while pilots are fearless, this one is on another level of daring. This gobsmacking selfie from the cockpit can quickly make your heart skip a beat. But something about this picture doesn't seem right. The pilot's hairstyle and glasses seem perfectly in place, as if the picture was taken on the ground and not thousands of feet above the ground. That's because it was. The image is indeed photoshopped, so you can breathe now. Who needs a pillow when we have each other? Places like airports are filled with emotions. On one side, you will find someone bidding farewell, while on the other, someone is welcoming a guest. Many are tired, some hungry, some unhappy with the flight packages because they got an uncomfortable seat, and all of this ends up making people sleepy. But for this couple, leaning on each other gave the comfort a neck pillow could never give. Without giving a thought to what others make of them, this couple comfortably looks wrapped up with each other to take a nice and cozy catnap. What a golden way to make use of the waiting time before the boarding gate opens. Yep, the bench will do. Workout addicts love to flex anywhere, be it at the park, at their home, or the airport. Wait, at the airport? Yes, of course. Look at this Hulk who lifted a whole row of seats at the airport, that too with a woman sitting on one of them. It seems like this guy is hitting two birds with one stone. Getting a good pump before catching his flight, and impressing his wife. By the look on her face, we assume she's his wife. We hope they had a good vacation, because chances are after this heavy lifting, he could well be put up in their room with a backache. Who tricked this little munchkin? Nowadays, which kid wouldn't want to be surrounded by technology? Gadgets have more or less become a necessity, especially at an airport, where you need something to while away time. But this kid seems to be in a situation with only two possible explanations: either he forgot to charge his device before leaving the house or drained the battery before catching the flight. That's probably why he is trying to push the charger into a deceptive-looking socket. But it doesn't seem to work. He soon realizes that it isn't a socket at all. It's a sticker. Now that's a mean prank. A matter of life and death. Not all officials are serious and dull, some like the occasional laugh. Look at this pilot who just wants to entertain his colleagues and passengers by cracking jokes. But the catch is, it's funny only for the ones who get it. Others would surely be running for their lives. You see, the captain is wearing sunglasses and posing with a white cane to give the impression that he's blind, which, of course, he isn't. If he were, boy, by the time he'd retire, thousands of people would be dead, wouldn't they? It seems that the passengers were kind and didn't complain about the prank. Two birds with one stone. Even dads can be funny at times. Children taking piggyback rides on their dads' backs is common, but this father took child management to another level. Well, come to think of it, he was giving his baby a ride, but the place and time were pretty unusual. This little girl sure looks exhausted. But her father devised the perfect trick to transport her and their luggage at the same time. Instead of carrying his daughter in one hand and two bags in the other, he simply let his child hang over the suitcase and pulled it along, giving her a nice ride as she snoozed. Self-obsession at its best. In today's world of personalized gifting, exchanging custom-printed merchandise isn't a big deal. Sometimes, people even get their pictures printed on stuff to make them memorable. This particular passenger, however, displayed a unique level of self-love through her custom-printed suitcase. She was pictured carrying a hardshell suitcase with her face printed on it in bold. Although it wasn't something new, people usually print celebrity photos, pet photos, or sometimes a child's picture on a suitcase, but to paste your face on it is a bit weird, don't you think? Standing out from the crowd. Traveling light is something that everyone wants to do, but it looks like some people are taking it way too seriously. This person is wearing nothing but an extravagant suit that looks like a movie costume straight off the stage. We wonder how much transporting cost he's paid for that fish-shaped head, though. A mere glance is enough to make out that it's oversized and doesn't comply with the check-in luggage size limit of 62 inches. This means he might have paid extra to carry this giant fish head on the plane. Maybe that's why he doesn't seem to be carrying any other luggage. When you let your kids out of sight for one moment. Bring your child to work day doesn't always work out the way. Remember how they say that your parents play an important role in taking you to greater heights. Well, it looks like this pilot has taken the advice too literally. The expression on the child's face makes this photo look very convincing, but there is no way that this could be real. The best explanation that we can think of is that this child is posing in front of a virtual cockpit, but his performance calls for an award. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment.